Hello everyone, I'm Ed Fry. We know that many, probably most, high school and college seniors will be deprived of traditional graduation ceremonies. My own grandson, coincidentally, is in just that position. So I offer the only part of graduation events that I can, the mandatory commencement address. I dress today in cap and gown, the very one I wore to my own PhD graduation from Penn State University in 1975. Now, time limits both the length and the breadth of this consideration, but I hope this brief commencement address will stand in for you as the real thing. In the meantime, I say congratulations. As a youth in the 1950s and 60s, I enjoyed the stories found in popular folk music, while several groups and artists created very imaginative songs. The Kingston Trio ruled. That rage finally gave way to rock and roll. Folk music wasn't very dance-friendly, but the trio's Desert Pete simply stays with me. I loved the music, the Kingston Trio, and that song. Of course, you graduates are smack dab in the beginning of the rest of your lives. So I offer Desert Pete to you, along with just a few comments about the folklore wisdom provided by our storyteller. Let's see if an old man can help you set your sails for the future. So the lyrics to our song, please enjoy. I was traveling west of Buckskin on my way to a cattle run, across a little cactus desert under a hard bargaining sun. Thirsty down to my toenails, I stopped to rest me on a stump. But I tell you, I just couldn't believe it when I saw that water pump. I took it to be a mirage at first. It'll fool a thirsty man. Then I saw a note stuck in a baking powder can. "This pump is old," the note began, "but she works, so give her a try. I put a new sucker washer in her. You may find the leather dry. Yeah, you'll have to prime the pump, work that handle like there's a fire. Under that rock you'll find some water left there in a bitters jar. Now there's just enough to prime it with, so don't you go drinking first. Just pour it in and pump like mad, and buddy, you'll quench your thirst." Well, I found the jar, and I tell you, nothing was ever prettier to my eye. And I was tempted strong to drink it, because that pump looked mighty dry. But the note went on, "Have faith, my friend, there's water down below. You've got to give to really get. I'm the one who ought to know. You've got to prime the pump. You must have faith and believe. You have to give of yourself before you're worthy to receive. You drink all the water you can hold, wash your face to your feet, but leave the bottle full for others. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete." So I poured in the jar and started pumping, and I heard a beautiful sound of water bubbling and splashing up out of that hole in the ground. I took off my shoes and drank my fill of that refreshing treat. Then I thanked the Lord, and I thanked the pump, and I thanked old Desert Pete. You've got to prime the pump. You must have faith and believe. You've got to give of yourself before you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold, wash your face to your feet, but leave the bottle full for others. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete. An engaging little tale, eh? I believe, however, it presents at least 3 insights for all of us, but today, to you young adults. Number 1, you must have faith and believe. Our traveler is asked to trust and believe a man he's never met. He has to forego the temptation to drink the little water he already holds, rather than pour it down a dry-looking hole. This is a classic example, the choice between immediate versus delayed gratification. Faith worked for our traveler. When faced with such decisions, we must rely on the trust we can place in others and our own decision-making, beliefs, and convictions. You're going to need some of these. Determine what is important to you, the social, philosophical, or religious tenets by which you intend to live and act. Then diligently strive to employ them in your thoughts, words, and deeds. Choose not blindly or quickly. Allow room for growth and change. Think. Above all, think. We all know how easily we can fall prey to questionable people, organizations, and movements. Thoughtfulness and good decision-making skills are acquired over time, but both will identify sham and scam and shallow thinking. They say love is blind. Faith and beliefs are not. Yet there is a personal freedom and a peace of mind that comes from the confidence of your own convictions. Number 2, you've got to give of yourself for you're worthy to receive. Seldom does life just drop wonderful things on us. Our traveler's asked to give up something he already has. He has to invest in his own life-sustaining choices. We all get to decide if we will spend our years just getting by, or if we will use them to enjoy life's abundance. Are you going to let life happen to you, or are you going to make life happen? Our traveler not only gets his necessary drink, but the opportunity to wash his hands and cool his feet, to play in the bubbly water. It doesn't come free to him, and it won't come free to you. Across my 75 years, I've developed a real admiration for many acquaintances and a bucketful of good friends. I think the charm of many of these is their contentment with the lives that they have crafted. The eldest among us tell of personal satisfaction, joy, really, in most facets of their involved and active lives. They proudly tell of living a fun life and loving it all the way, splashing, if you will, in the sweet waters of our world. Naturally, most of my heroes are very successful in their various endeavors. Most report that their accomplishments and prizes and achievements are the results of personal effort and often real sacrifice. But they're not complaining. Usually, their only regret is that they wish they had provided more of the social, professional, and volunteer contributions than those they already have. Sort of shades of Oscar Schindler in Schindler's List. I didn't do enough. These are lives well lived. My thought for you is to attack your days on this earth with heartiness and gladfulness and enjoy them. Do not go quietly. Live. Live. Number 3, leave the bottle full for others. Had our traveler decided to drink a few ounces of water he already held, not only would he still be thirsty and dirty, there would be no water for future passers-by. The circle of mutual cooperation and dependence would be broken. Best, I think, not to take from the world without restoring it as well or better than we found it. If we truly believe in the notion of responsibility to create a planet better than we inherited, we need to make choices that do so. Will we act on behalf of those who will come later? Such quests serve us personally as well as they. Flowers, you see, let a little bit of their fragrance on the hand that bestows them. You graduates are going to spend most of your lives in this still young century. So the question only you can answer is these. How can you live fruitful and enriching adult lives based on your selected faiths, beliefs, and personal effort in your adult years? What will you leave behind? I heartily wish for you wonderful and joyful journeys, even as you ensure a future that allows you not only to survive, but to flourish, and that for your children and your children's children. We lay our hopes and trust at your feet. We have faith in you. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete. This presentation, by the way, is in Word format attached to this video so that you may use it in any way you wish. As tradition has it, we switch our tassels upon graduation from the right side, which is here, to the left side. I do so in your honor. Godspeed.